If you don't let me beat the girls in sports, then I'm gonna hurt some people.
What's up, guys? Spenny. How refreshing to have our health authorities in America be able to make statements like this.
Men are men. Men can never become women. Women are women. Women can never become men.
I don't care what you do in this life. I don't care what you think in this life. I don't care what your feelings are. 1,000 years from now, when the AI scientists and robots are digging through all of our remains, they'll be able to pluck out one of your bones from the earth and do a quick test for the chromosomes in those bones and be able to find X, Y, or XX, and they'll be able to tell if you are male or female. And that's the end of it. So it doesn't matter how much makeup or silicone or how many feelings you have. That's just the way God made it. And you can't fight God. You'll lose that battle every single time. Some people do fight God. And we've lived through the single most aggressive and disturbing psychological operation over the last couple of years, from approximately 2020 to 2024, where Joe Biden was doing, alphabet and transgender festivities, inside the White House. Bill Mulvaney interviewed Bill Mulvaney on a Bud Light can. I mean, it was like this ceaseless, mind-bending propaganda super cycle that truly did break people. And we're seeing the early returns for this ideology, and it has been horrifying. Single most violent group by number in the entire world is the transgender population. We're going to explain why here in just a second, but let's read the new, violent, and deadly transgender news cycle here. Woman murdered by transgender ex alongside child. Ugh. After divorcing him because of his narcissistic personality disorder traits, well, that's on brand. A woman of 3 was murdered alongside of her child after her transgender ex-husband opened fire at a high school hockey game in Rhode Island. At a hockey game. At a school. Ugh. Rhonda Dorgan is her name. She was shot dead by her ex-husband, Robert Dorgan, who went by the name Roberta Esposito. Their son's hockey game, the Lynch Arena, a few miles outside of Providence. Rhonda died inside of the skating rink, and her son was pronounced dead. Oh, so terrible. 2 family friends were injured in the shooting, so he was aiming for a lot of people. Dorgan concluded the rampage by killing himself. Oh, so awful. His daughter told local news that he had a mental health issue and was very sick. The motive remains unclear. Well, you can imagine exactly what's going on. It stemmed from a targeted family dispute. Rhonda served Dorgan divorce papers in 2020, according to their case file. She initially cited Dorgan's gender reassignment surgery, narcissistic personality disorder traits, grounds for the divorce. The reason he crossed the line were placed with irreconcilable differences that caused an immediate breakdown in the marriage, and the divorce was finalized. So this is the what looks like a beautiful family here. This is the husband. This is her husband after he's divorced. Gosh, who killed the ex-wife? Look at this. These kids traumatized forever, traumatized for life. Dorgan sparred with multiple family members over his gender identity crisis. Court documents showed he told police in 2020 that he had recently undergone gender reassignment surgery and said his father-in-law wanted to kick him out of the home. Dorgan claimed that the officers in North Providence Police Department of his father-in-law threatened to have him murdered by an Asian street gang. Okay. And he once told police that he had been living at the home for 7 years, claimed his father-in-law told him, there's no way this tranny is going to stay in my house, according to the documents. The father-in-law was charged with intimidation of witnesses and victims' crimes and obstruction of the judicial system. Prosecutors dismissed the charges. What a mess. What a mess. Police confirmed the suspect was a transgender man. Robert goes by the name Roberta. How long? How long are we going to mask this stuff? There are sick people. There have always been sick people. You don't help out alcoholics by handing them the liquor cabinet keys. You don't help out habitual drunk drivers by giving them the keys to your car. You don't help out child abusers by putting them on Epstein Island. Okay. Flying them on the Lolita Express. So why do we do this? That, you know, there was a time when we had mental health institutions in this country that would help people that were suffering. And I'm in favor of that. I think that's, quite frankly, the merciful thing to do. The unmerciful thing to do is to lie to people and use state and federal funds in order to facilitate delusions. This is the dude who shot his family at the hockey rink. Being trans is a huge signifier of unbridled, violent rage. And, well, you can see here on the list, here's just a massive list, added to the list. And they often target Christian churches. Why? Because in the first book of the Bible, it says God maketh them man and woman. Annunciation Catholic Church, Nashville Christian shooter, Lakewood Christian shooter, Colorado Springs, Denver shooter, Charlie Kirk's assassin, and so on and so on. Daughter of the shooter said her father had mental health issues and was very, very sick.
She described that shooting suspect as her father. She came out of the police department behind me here in tears after presumably being interviewed by police.
My father was a shooter.
What happened?
Shot my family. And he's dead now.
What was the reasoning? Was there a family argument?
He has mental health issues.
So yes, she
has mental health issues, she says. We're now getting trans mass shootings multiple times a month. Per capita, these are the most dangerous people on the planet, says Matthew Walsh. There is no question about it. Unstable, delusional, liable to lash out at any time. Trans ideology must be treated as the threat that it clearly is. Goodness gracious. Violent danger to society. Goodness gracious. Ooh, man. 1 week after the transgender man killed 8 kids at a school, transgender father kills his child and wife. This is the one from Canada, by the way. Undercovered for sure. Everything I've said about transgenderism in the past 10 years, says Matt Walsh, is absolutely correct, totally vindicated. And now I'm telling you that the trans violence we've seen so far is compared to this coming. The trans violence we've seen so far is nothing compared to what's coming. We don't treat this ideology as a severe public safety hazard and crack down on it immediately and aggressively and stop facilitating it. There you go. Trans violence is an epidemic. Goodness. The shooter was born in 1969 and went by 2 different names. Left-wing media refuses to inform its readers of the basics when it comes to transgenderism. This isn't journalism, it's anti-journalism, it's orthodoxy. I said this 3 years ago, trans violence will only get worse, and now I say it again, it will only get worse. Let's treat it like the epidemic it is. Trans ideology is a national security threat. Again, the list goes on. The list goes on. Threatened to go berserk in a trans rant the day before the shooting. Goodness gracious. Let's go ahead and look. The night before the bloodshed, the 56-year-old dad underwent gender reassignment surgery, made an ominous post on X in anger at somebody calling trans Democrat Rep. Sarah McBride a man. Here is the post. Keep bashing us, but do not wonder why we go berserk. Goodness gracious. So stating basic biological fact, scientific fact for all time is enough to end your life now. It's terrible. Can't live like this. Can't live like this. And many people don't live like this. Many people aren't alive now because of this. So we've had enough. We've had enough. It's time to call it out, what it is, and that's actually the merciful thing to both the victims and the people suffering, right? From whatever it is. And I personally believe, what do I actually think? Well, I'm no scientist. I think it's a spiritual thing, of course. I guess the root of all of this is it is spiritual. That's why the Baphomet, that's why Satan, in statue form is hermaphroditic. Female breasts, male genitalia. It's always been about that. That's been always the battle. But everything old is new again. So it's time to reconnect with what this really is, which is a spiritual battle. Be on the right side of it. Fight with us. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.